I want to tell you about one of the biggest threats facing your business. The problem is you probably won't see it. It won't appear on your dashboard. It won't show up in your CRM. It won't trigger an alert. And your CFO probably won't even notice it. Well, not until months later. Because this isn't a sales problem. It's not a marketing problem. It's a trust problem. Your competitors are quietly earning trust and quietly taking market share, long before your sales team even knows there's an opportunity. And it's happening every single day. Hey, welcome back to this little corner of the Tiki Bar. I'm Matthew Pearce, and this is where I come to escape. I actually don't come to escape business. It's where I come to think differently about it. Because sometimes the biggest competitive shifts are the one that nobody notices until they're already behind. Today's conversation is about one of those shifts. You see, most executives still believe the buying process begins when a prospect contacts their company. I don't think that's true anymore. Today, the buying process begins the moment somebody has a question. Before they schedule a demo, before they request pricing, before they even visit your website, they start searching. There's Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit, industry publications, and increasingly AI. Every search, every article, every podcast, every video, they're all quietly shaping perception long before your sales team ever even has a chance to introduce themselves. Think about your own behavior when you're considering a major purchase. Maybe it's a software platform, an investment firm, a consultant for your business. What do? You research. You read, you compare, you watch videos, you look for people you trust. And by the time you reach out, you've probably already made up your mind. Your customers are doing exactly the same thing. And this creates something I call the invisible market share war. You see, companies, they think they are competing during the sales process. But I believe they're actually competing months earlier. They're competing to become the company the buyers already trust before the buying process officially begins. And that changes everything because trust compounds. Every helpful video, every insightful article, every interview, every mention, every customer success story, every appearance on a podcast, it just adds another brick. Individually, they might not seem significant, but together they become authority. And authority changes buying behavior. This is why two companies with nearly identical products can have dramatically different growth. One has to convince prospects that they are credible. The other is assumed to be credible before that conversation even starts, right? The products, they can be similar. Pricing can be similar. The sales team might be similar. But one company has already won the trust battle. And trust is what usually wins. Here's the part that many businesses miss. Market share doesn't always disappear overnight. It kind of leaks away quietly. A prospect watches someone else's YouTube channel. They read someone else's article. They hear someone else interviewed on a podcast. They see somebody quoted in AI search. And little by little, another company becomes the new obvious choice. Not because they necessarily have the better product, because they became the more trusted authority. I believe that's one of the biggest shifts happening in business today. We're moving from an economy where attention was enough to one now where trust determines who actually wins. And trust is built long before your sales process begins. That's why I spent so much time talking about digital authority, not because it's another marketing tactic, because it's becoming one of the most valuable strategic assets that a business can own. It's an asset that continues working even when your sales team is asleep, an asset that compounds year after year, an asset that your competitors just can't easily copy. In the next executive briefing, we're going to move from philosophy to execution. I'll show you how companies actually engineer digital authority, the systems, the content, the strategy, and why some organizations seem to appear everywhere while others remain almost invisible. Because authority, it's not accidental, it's built. See you next time.